All right, so a lot of people joining. I think we can just go ahead and get started. So hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. I won't make too long of an intro. This is our community learning number 3. So this is basically a space where our members share their expertise, and especially if it can be useful to other members, right? So it can be related to independent consulting, not necessarily. In this case, it is. So that's it as far as the the space, and I'll let you take it from here, Fernanda, and thanks for hosting.
Awesome. Thanks, Pedro. So hello, everyone. My name is Fernanda. I will give you a long intro about, like the subject and about myself as well. First of all, thanks very much for giving your time here. And I would like also to present to you about how I created my content to be successful in social media. The content would be mostly about Instagram, but I believe that the fundamentals that we learn here can be applied to any social media. So I will share you my results, the things that I did right, the things that I did wrong. And if you have any questions, oh, Fernanda, I'm facing this situation, can you give your perspective? This is an open space. So feel free to, add comments and ask questions. Okay, I will share here the presentation. Yeah, awesome. Do you see my screen? Awesome. Right. So basically here, the main topic of this talk is basically create content on social media and increase your consulting opportunities. So of course that sometimes, on LinkedIn, and especially if you are knowledgeable about one topic, you have a lot of people approaching you for that consulting calls, oh, because, do you like to talk 1 hour about this topic? This is not the main subject here. It's more about you, creating your personal brand, about you, delivering high quality content to bring also leads and also, partnerships with other consultants, partnerships with other players as well. So you can also, be recognized as an expert of your field. So that's a quick disclaimer. So before I give you more information about myself and about what I did, I have 3 disclaimers. So the first one is about, this is not a social media class. So basically, I will not teach you about, like TikTok tactics, like LinkedIn tactics. It's more here about, my personal experience, the things that I did and I succeed. So there are a lot of content about social media out there, so you can read there. Feel free to ask questions. So all the questions that you have, and if I know how to answer it, I will. And basically, social media is always evolving. So instead of focusing on small stuff that I tell you, like, oh, because I posted twice a day, oh, I posted 6 times a day, don't focus on that. Focus more on the fundamentals behind it, because everything that I did for a reason. And I tested a lot. So if you have this knowledge about the fundamentals and about why we're doing this, you will succeed in your social media strategy, right? So it's not about the amount of times you're posting, it's more about having frequency, having consistency. So basically, that's the main disclaimers for today. And a little bit about myself. I think that some people here know me a little bit better. So I am currently working as a head of growth at ZP. It's a Brazilian fintech. So I'm a Brazilian person. I'm living in São Paulo, but I spent some time of my career working in some cities like Mexico City and also some time in Dubai. So I had some experience working abroad with other cultures, other countries as well. Last year, I tried to launch a edtech business, but unfortunately, I had to shut down. I can also give another talk about the subject. It's a long story, but it was a great time of my life. I had a lot of opportunity to learn, to develop myself. And also because of that, and because, you know, I wanted to understand more about how to deliver value to people and how to deliver high quality content to people, I decided to explore a little bit social media. So previously, before that, even though I was working in growth, I didn't have any experience about organic social media, about social. So for me, also, it was a good opportunity for me to learn. And with all my tasks, with all the strategies, all the tactics, I was able to grow my social media from 400 to 17,000 followers in 6 months on Instagram, being like totally introverted, very shy, almost no knowledge. For you to have an idea, when I had these 400 followers, I had only, you know, like 10 posts on my Instagram account. So the profile was almost, you know, ghost profile. You know, I just used it for, you know, scrolling and browsing content. I didn't have any experience about, you know, posting stories, you know, posting reels. Reels for me was kind of impossible because, you know, totally outside of my comfort zone. But I was able to, you know, learn, and finally I succeed. I had some success with that. And if you want to go to my page, it's on Instagram, it's Fernanda Face. You can check it out there, like the videos, the content I posted. I will assume that right now I'm not as active as before because, you know, Zip is taking a lot of my time. But until some months like ago, I was very active. I was, you know, like posting content every day, having, you know, lives and posting reels and so on. So basically, I divided my presentation in these topics. So basically, why grow your audience? And here, not just growing audience on Instagram, but in every social media channel, relevant social media channel. A little bit of my journey as well, because it was not easy. It's not that I was the most, you know, like friendly person to, you know, people to follow on social media. I was not like that extroverted person, you know. I felt before that I didn't have anything interesting to share to people, but I was mistaken. People actually, they got interested about the content, about my life, which is impressive. Why? Until today, I don't know, but I will share with you my experience. What I did right, what I did wrong. So you don't need to repeat the same mistakes. I did a lot of mistakes during this time. And if I can give you some advices as well for you to save time and save money, you know, before you start creating and before you start testing some of the social media stuff that I did in my case. And also I will open some time for you to ask some questions. So it's important because it's an open conversation. So basically ask some questions and feel free to do so. So basically, I will start my conversation having this quote. So basically, what is the personal brand? So basically, it's the synthesis of all expectations, images, and perceptions it creates in the mind of others when they hear your name. So one thing that working, you know, as a person very successful in the startups, as a person, you know, with a good career in the offline world, you know, I saw that sometimes I was lacking some control of my narrative. What do I mean by saying that? It's about, you know, when they're thinking about Fernanda, they were thinking and describing the perception, a partial perception that they had about me. Sometimes they had some context about some work that I did. Sometimes they had some information about the studies that I did, but nobody had the entire context. And for me, it was about, you know, having this personal brand, was about having control of my own narrative, having control of the narrative of my career. So when people start thinking about me, they could have more context, they could have more control about what people think. So basically, why I decided to invest more about that. So basically, we know people connect with people, not with brands and companies. If you are a big brand like Coca-Cola, like Apple, maybe you can connect with the brand, but we know that for the most of the brands and most of the companies, that's not true. So basically, people, when they want to be your customers, or when people, they want to reach out to you for a consulting service or some advice, they would like to understand also the people, the person behind, the professional face, right? Okay, it's Fernanda, but Fernanda is a good professional, but okay, what she does in her free time, what are her visions about life, about work. So this is very important to have a connection. This is very important when you have like a rapport with your future customer. So I decided that instead of, when you are negotiating or when you are talking to someone, to share my personal brand, to share my opinion after I schedule a conversation with this person, it's best to show what I know and what I value beforehand. Before the person starts having the conversation, starts negotiating with me. And why? Because you can actually qualify the person a little bit better. So especially like for consulting services, for example, you can have a lot of consultants, like a lot of people, good, qualified people, but we know that like one of the criteria that people they will use will be the connection, would be, we share the same values, we share a similar way of working. So that's why I decided to create and invest in my personal brand. And as I said, also, you need to control the narrative about your merit, success, and career. Of course, that you can say, oh, because I worked in this company, oh, because I have an MBA in this school. But this is just a small part of your career, of your narrative. So you want to be in control of everything. You would like to be in control of people are thinking about you. And if you have the power and you can do something to make people understand more about your life, about what you do, what you know, you can do it. Would be easy for you to connect with them, Also, instead of letting others with partial context talk about you, why shouldn't you talk about yourself? So why rely on third-party opinions about you if you can also make your part, do your part and create a narrative for yourself? This is very important. And also because you need to become reference. So you need to put yourself out there, show what you know, make yourself, seen by other people. So that's these were the main reasons why I decided to actually invest in my social media. I saw a lot of competitions. I saw a lot of, good qualified growth people, data analysis people working out there. And I wanted to create a differential about me. So I decided, okay, let's try and create a personal brand. And that's what I did. And the results were, very good. Julian asked, completely get the narrative point, but why you choose Instagram as your main channel? Yes, I will tell you more about that. But basically, I had a reason. It's an idea that I had. Maybe you can apply, can use it. But before I start talking about, deciding which channel to focus on, I would like just to give you some numbers about results, right? Here, I'm just attributing these results to Instagram. Of course, that I had some working coming from LinkedIn, some working coming from referrals, but here I'm just attributing Instagram because it's were the main channel that I was working with. So basically, I had a product like selling some content to people about, tips, about data analysis, about quick Excel spreadsheets, about, like how I can analyze my campaign using this spreadsheet. How can I, like be a better analyst, all this content. I sold a lot of content. It was an always on content. And I was able to sell in this 6 months around, 60K. So like people coming to Instagram, seeing my profile, being able to purchase, this content. So I saw, even though I'm not selling the product like anymore, most of the products I'm not selling anymore, but people, they always go to my profile until today and they are interested. Oh, Fernanda, hi, how about your content? I would like to buy more content about you. So that is a revenue stream that is arriving from Instagram, even though I'm not posting actively as I was posting before. So it's okay. So that's good. I also had some hourly calls. So some calls about, especially about my data analysis career, oh, Fernanda, because I'm starting my data analysis, marketing analytics role here in this company, I would like to understand a little bit how I can succeed here because I don't have a leader here. So can you help me? Or I have this project. So it was, hourly calls just to unlock some work, just to give some guidance to people. So I was able to make some money in these calls as well. Some consulting work that I had coming from Instagram as well. So basically about, creating, in my case, for example, creating some dashboards, talking to some engineers about, okay, how can I receive some data and how people can consume data. So it was very nice. I also was able to get this using Instagram, what is not intuitive because people think, oh, because LinkedIn it's the only option, and it's not, right? And also I was able to get some partnership opportunities. So here in Brazil, we have, data digital analytics school here, the biggest one here in Brazil. And I was able to get some opportunities to talk in their podcasts, to publish some articles in their blog, to have some class in their school. So basically I'm working as a partnership, and they give also for me free PR. So basically, like analytics professional of the year here in Brazil to watch. So basically I have partnership with this school, and they publish my name. So basically this is all attributable to Instagram. And I had good results. And about investment, I invested some money, especially about, like boosting some ads and working with some designers. But the total investment that I have was just like 4.5K dollars. So basically the results was very good, and seems a good investment to me. So okay, so a little bit more about my journey. So last year I was working in New Mexico as a growth marketer, and I decided to launch my business. And basically I decided to launch my business. I didn't know what to do. I was very lost. And basically I had this passion about education. I wanted to teach people, so I decided to, maybe I can open an edtech business, maybe I can create some content. And I saw that doing a competitor analysis there, I analyzed LinkedIn profiles, I analyzed Instagram profiles, TikTok. I saw that, the best resources were in English. And here in Brazil, we had this problem that only a small percentage of the population, they understand English, and all the content that we had out there was talking about specific tools. So, because I learned about Excel tips, Power BI tips. There were nobody like talking about, like how can you be more analytical, how you can organize your work as a data analyst, like opportunities abroad. There were just a few contents about that. So I decided, okay, I would like to make things different, and I would like to differentiate myself from other players. I didn't want to focus on tools. I wanted to focus more about the transformation. So I decided to follow these 4 steps. And I believe that using these 4 steps will make a lot of difference. So first, I decided which channel to test first. So I had these options, and I will give you some, why I chose Instagram instead of LinkedIn, for example. And this is important because one thing that people do, and I believe sometimes is a mistake, is try to test like multiple channels, especially when you don't have enough time. So like you are not a company, you don't have like a social media person dedicated to do that. So basically you need to, okay, grab a channel. Okay, I will choose this channel, pick this channel, and try to optimize this channel only until you see some results or until you have confidence that this channel is not right for you. So here people sometimes they make a mistake because I will try 3 channels at the same time and see how it goes. I decided, no, I don't have like a lot of time. I will focus on Instagram and that's it. I will try to be the best on Instagram. The second step was creating the content frequently. So it's not just about you creating high quality content. So people sometimes they focus on, oh, because I will create this amazing bright content, long content, like people will see it, will say, oh my God, this content is amazing. But here, especially at the beginning, you need to focus on speed. So you need to be able to deliver like, will be not the perfect content, but like good enough for you to be able to like have content that people is going to interact with, is going to like give you a like, share with other people. It doesn't need to be the most technical, the perfect content. The third thing is about monitor the results, because you will test different types, of copies, different types of creative design. So you need to understand what is working well or not. And when you see a promising content, you can scale this content using paid advertise. So like, oh, because I did this content on Instagram, it's doing fine, so I will boost this content. I will actually put more money. Because here I'm using TikTok, the same thing. So basically here you can pay and make your content like reach to more people when they are successful. So also other mistake that sometimes people do is about, oh, I will promote everything, but no, only promote and boost ads content if you are like, okay, certain that this will make a difference, that this content is good enough and people, they are liking this content. So in the first step about deciding the channel, I decided that first it was about, like I think the pros, cons, and also channel align it with myself. So this work about, producing content on social media is a type of work that you are going to do every day. So it needs to be at least enjoyable, otherwise you will spend just like 2 weeks and it's over. So you need to, okay, what is the channel that is aligned with me as a person? And the channel that, okay, I can achieve the object, like the goal that I wanted. So basically here, I wanted to test a channel that I didn't have a lot of competition and people could engage and connect with my content. So basically that's where my main goal. Okay, I would like to be like reference on Instagram because Instagram didn't have a lot of content posted about data analysis. And I would like to increase the connections, increase the interactions people they had with me. So I was moving towards Instagram. I wanted to show my human side. As I already told you, people connect to people, not with the knowledge and the product. And also with the content, I wanted to solve a problem or make my audience better while they were watching the content. And why is that? I wanted to be useful to people. I wanted to make people reading my content like as, okay, I'm learning something, okay, that's nice. So that's like the three main criteria that I used. So I took the pros and cons of each channel. So basically I had, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And LinkedIn, it was promising, because it had a lot of professional related content, a lot of qualified contacts. Professional content was expected, so I'll see a lot of like professional content, work related content on LinkedIn. But about LinkedIn, the main problem was about, the competition. So seeing like people posting data knowledge, I saw a lot of people posting daily stuff on LinkedIn, like sharing content there. And I was kind of, no, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be like one person, just one more person doing that. So, okay, maybe it's not like what I wanted. Also was about, like the personal connection. So for me, it was very important to have the personal connection, and I didn't see that on LinkedIn. And also about, myself, like I'm not the person that seeing like myself, like that type of person that would like to post on LinkedIn every day. So basically, like the media was not very aligned with what I like to do. So, okay, LinkedIn would be for another time. Just for Instagram was interesting, was about, okay, human connection driven, it's video friendly. And I wanted to post some videos as well, can be closer to the audience. So I can have this, like people can interact with me, they can send messages, they can, reply to my stories, so it's nice to have this connection, but it's a channel mainly for entertainment. And you cannot post a lot of technical stuff there. So, okay. So, okay, I had these challenges, but I was kind of, okay, at least this part of the human connection, be close to the audience, show what I do. I can do better on Instagram than on LinkedIn. I also saw TikTok, but TikTok was not like very qualified in terms of the audience that I wanted. So I wanted like a older audience, not like young people. Also, the videos that I had to post on TikTok, sometimes they are like, it's not technical at all. So I was kind of, no, I will not post on TikTok for now. And another promising channel that I saw that could be way amazing, that were like it's like my actually my backlog to test, is about YouTube. YouTube for me, it's like, if you are not as connection human side as I am, I recommend you to go on YouTube. Why? Because people there, they are willing to learn. They are willing to learn. They are already in this discovery mode. They are most of the times, searching about your subject, so you can actually have more people interested about what you're recording, or the subject of the video. And also can post technical content there. So it's not about, because I need here to lower the bar because people will not understand. No, here people, they will understand. Retention times are high. So it's very good. YouTube, I know a lot of people who had very success with YouTube. The biggest problem with YouTube is about, okay, it's not as like connection, there is not this connection, human connection, as Instagram, and about, takes more time. When I say takes more time, it's about you producing the video, right? So you need to have a script, sometimes you need to rehearse, sometimes you have this preparation time, and it takes a lot of time. So I was kind of, okay, I don't have this time, so I will test Instagram first. And after I had, a good knowledge about Instagram, I will go and start testing YouTube. So that's where the main criteria that I used. Any question here?
Like how often were you creating like content for your own channel? And by this I mean daily. How many pieces would you outputting?
On YouTube?
On Instagram.
On Instagram. So yeah, I have this in the next slide. So basically about like, okay, frequency, you don't need like to post every day. When I say post, is about, like reels, about carousels, about, photos, not every day, but I see that at least twice or 3 times a week would be great, right? So that's like, I started with twice a week because I didn't have a lot of time. I was still learning about the channel. And when you don't have a lot of experience, you take a lot of time, to create the post, to make it perfect, and so on. So I only got to produce twice a week, but 3 times a week it's best, right? There were time like sometimes some weeks I posted every day, but it was like totally when I was very inspired. I didn't see a lot of results coming from posting 3 times and posting, every day. I didn't see any big results and big difference. So 3 times it's good. I did, but Instagram stories, I did every day, at least 6, divided into 3 different parts of the day, like 2 in the morning, 2 afternoon, 2 in the evening. Just like Instagram stories about sharing my daily life, my routine, office, sometimes like having the questions box open so people could ask me questions, So at least 6 were good, divided into different hours of the day so people can see your profile out there, like you have a new story, so basically that's the main rationale that I used here on Instagram. And also about the content, since Instagram is about human connection as well, I divided my content in 3 editorial lines. So 1 main line, 1 more personal, and another one about, like complementary subjects. So basically here, my main topic was about data analysis as a career. So basically talking about the opportunities, talk about how can you be a better analyst. The second one was about a more personal. So about discipline, about, my workout routine, about, I was on a diet. So I was trying to eat healthy foods every day. So showing some inspiration about discipline. And another one about, digital marketing, because since I had some experience in growth, so I wanted also to share my experience about these topics. So basically, and this was very good because most of the leads that I got, most of the consulting opportunities was about using data analysis in marketing. So basically, so was very, nice, the interaction between the complementary topic and the types of clients and leads that I was able to get was reflecting that.
Sorry, Fred, we're gonna be a little short on time. So what we can do is, obviously, if anyone has additional questions, you can look for Fer on Slack, and we could also organize like a part 2 because it was really interesting. But right now we're gonna be short on time, so just that flagging that.
Yes. So I have another part of the presentation, but yeah, any questions, please reach out to me.
Perfect. I think we'll do that. I'll make sure to share the presentation also. And thanks everyone for joining. And thank you again, Fer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fer. Excited for part 2.
Yeah, of course.
Hi, Fer. We're back.
Yes, we're back.
I'm
Part
thinking
2.
Perfect. I think we can go ahead and get started. So thanks again, everyone, for joining. Everyone who was here last time, we ran a little short on time, but basically community learnings is a space where our members showcase their expertise and can help each other in themes regarding to consulting or anything from their careers. And Fernanda is covering how to grow your social media presence and generate opportunities through social media. So Fer, take it away.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Pedro. So yeah, so basically, before I continue the presentation, the part 2, I believe it's nice to give you a quick recap about what we discussed, because just to make sure that everyone knows and has context. But basically, here we're going to talk about social media, and I wanted just to start this recap, just giving you like the results. So I was able, to get only from Instagram here. I'm not mentioning other types of social media. Instagram was my main social media channel that I used. But like in 6 months, I was able to get $60K in content sold to people like B2C, clients. Hourly calls, also I was able to get $5,000, 15,000 in consulting here, like medium-sized projects, and also some partnerships, which gave me some PR opportunities, like podcasts opportunities as well. So like with just a small amount of investment, so I invested a little bit of money in design and like boosting some ads, I was able to get these results. So actually, social media actually pays off. It's a long time effort. I know it takes some time until, you get some results. But after you start seeing this result, you can actually have like a good return from it. So you need to start, right? And basically here, just my journey. I started, how I started with social media. I decided to launch my own business, my education business. And in order to advertise my products and myself as an expert, I decided to actually start posting stuff on social media, right? And what are the steps that I took? I took these 4 steps. So basically, first, I decided which channel to test, because some mistake that people make all the time is about, oh, I will choose 2 or 3 different channels and start everything at once. But the problem is, in order to make a successful test, especially if you work full-time in other companies, especially if you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of creativity, it's important to focus on just one channel. And this channel would be the channel that you will concentrate the amount of your effort, the type of creative, the type of, content that you post. So basically, this is a very important step. The second step is about the frequency of creating content. It's not just about, create the perfect content. Here is more about, the amount of content that you are creating, because this allows you to test types of formats, test more the reaction of your audience. So basically, don't spend a lot of time creating one piece of content. Like, spend your time creating a lot of content, like a lot of small pieces of content, and test these small pieces of content. The third time is about, being data-driven, about growing your personal brand, growing your social media. So you need to monitor results. So basically, every platform, if you go to LinkedIn, if you go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, you can see the results of your content. So basically, you can see the amount of comments that you're getting, the amounts of shares you're getting. It's not just about here impressions. Like basically, I saw a lot of content that I created that had a lot of impressions, but it didn't have a lot of interactions. People, they were not like actually commenting and sharing. And for us, as we are creating this connection to people, as we want to create relevant content, we need to make sure that people actually, they're engaging with the content. So like here in this case, likes, sharings, savings, they are more important than just impressions. And about scaling your content as well. So basically you can use some money, you can invest on the type of content that actually gives you better returns. So basically here, okay, we can start with organic, but if you see some promising results in some content that you posted, in some types of creatives as well, you can boost using, paid media, but don't boost everything, just the stuff and the content that are promising, right? So like we don't have a lot of money to spend like freely. So basically here in this first step, I think that these were the last slide or this one, but it's about, okay, the process of deciding the channel. So basically here, why I decided to choose Instagram instead of LinkedIn was basically about, like in Instagram, I was able to create this human connection with people. So basically, I also wanted not to post professional and technical stuff. I also wanted to have this relationship with people because I have this perception about, people connect to people, not connect to business. That's the main reason why you see like Mark Zuckerberg posting stuff on his Instagram account, as we're seeing also like founders from many companies posting personal stuff in their social media, not just about company stuff. So because people like your clients, they want to see what is the person behind that technical face, right? What are your values? What are the way that you live your life, like your family? Like we are human beings, we like this type of connection. So it's very important for us to show our human side. So that's why I decided to use Instagram. The other point was also because personally, I am more connected and I was feeling more okay posting on Instagram every day than LinkedIn, and also about competition. So I felt that in my field, for example, data analysis, marketing analytics, a lot of people were posting already on LinkedIn. So I kind of know like the competition is high here. So I will go on Instagram because, people there, they post dances, they post entertainment stuff, and I will be different there. So that's why I decided to use Instagram. But another promising channel that I truly recommend you to start testing is YouTube. YouTube is the channel that I also want to test because people there, they are like on explorer mode. They want to learn new things. So you can post your technical content. You can post content about, the cities you're traveling, about restaurants you're going. So you can mix this stuff in your channel. So you can show both. You can show your human side. You can also show your professional side. And they are going to watch the video. The retention times are bigger. So it's a good opportunity. The only thing about YouTube is that, for you to create the video, record it, edit the video takes some time. So that's why I decided to test Instagram first, but YouTube is very promising. Okay. The second step was about create content and do it frequently. So as I mentioned, I divided the content in 3 editorial lines. And even though you are using LinkedIn as well, I recommend you to use 3 editorial lines. And why? Because people will get tired about your main subject. They would like to see something different from you. So that's why I decided to choose 3 different topics. The main one was about data analysis as a career. So how to become a more analytical person, like what are the data careers out there and how could you become a data analyst or a data scientist. So I created this main editorial line. The second one was about, more personal. So it was about more towards discipline, about focus, about, planning the day. So people could see, okay, like Fernanda, she's a very good data analyst, and she also do a lot of things about discipline. She work out, she is on a diet, so she has some focus, so people can be inspired, not just but about your career, but also, about your life as well. So you can be the complete source of inspiration. And another editorial line that I used was about digital marketing, because since I have some experience in growth marketing, I decided, okay, let's try and insert some content about paid media, that as well, digital analytics as well. So it's about like, okay, because people will get tired about data stuff all the time. And some suggestions about where to get some ideas. So a lot of people, they say, oh, Fernanda, because I don't have ideas to post, I don't know if I have anything interesting to say. And basically what I used was about interviewing people. So basically I decided, okay, let's go out there and ask people what are the types of content you are most interested about. If you use Instagram, it's very nice because you can ask and you can use that like questions on Instagram. You can post a story with the questions, saying people can answer like what are the subjects that you're most interested. So people can actually answer, interact to you, send messages to you. So you can interview people and ask people. It's a good way. People, they love to, give some ideas. It's the thing that people love doing the most. It's like, let's give you an opinion. So people, you can talk to them and they can give you some ideas. ChatGPT as well. So now we're using artificial intelligence. They are like good resources. You can use it. So it's nice for you to have an idea. Google, simply Googling. Many times I had to Google, like suggestions for, data analysis content. You can do it there. And another source, a very good source, is about inspiration from competitors. So you can see what your competitors are doing, the content they are posting, and you can try and think about how to create and remake this content 100%, like 10 times better. So like you can copy the topic, but let's make it better. So you can use and do this. No problem. It's like it's normal, like it's not illegal. So you can do it. And another thing that I wanted to say is about time posts. So about posting like Christmas, during December, Christmas content, some events that happen that everyone is talking about, you can use it. Just use it like wisely, because sometimes depending if the content looks that is very, like not connected with your person, can be weird. So for example, about Christmas, for example, I didn't post anything about Christmas because for me, like time posts were not my thing. I was not very connected to special dates. So I was I will not post anything about, Christmas, about New Year's, no, it's not me. So I will not post it because it would like a little bit, like weird. So also take this into consideration. About frequency, so you don't need to post every day, but at least 3 times a week. It's nice because you can, be fresh into people's mind. And, like when you're on Instagram, LinkedIn, they receive content from everyone. So you need to become remembered. So it's good to have, some consistency and some frequency as well. So both of them is important. Okay, about testing content, you need to test content all the time. So basically here, I just like put some types of different contents that I created because I wanted to test different ways of saying things. So basically I tested Reels. Basically Reels For me, it worked better, but for some people can be different. So it depends on your profile. It depends if you are comfortable talking in front of the camera as well. But for me, Reels worked very well. So I decided, okay, let's make, like a video about lies that people tell you about, data analysis. I decided also to have like tutorials, like small videos teaching something about Google Sheets. I decided to create funny videos as well. I decided to post more inspirational stuff. So I tried different things, and with time, I saw some patterns, and basically like Reels performing best, about curiosities about the area, tutorials as well worked very well in my field. So, okay, I will replicate this type of content, and I will boost this content using paid media. So test is the thing that you do all the time. It's very important that like every day you have something new to test, different content, a different positioning in terms of video, a funny video, tone of voice as well. It's nice to test. So basically try, depends on the person, depends on the field, but for me, Reels and tutorials worked best. About the performance, I didn't use any specific tool. Actually, I used the platform itself. I used Instagram. So Instagram Insights, if you go to your Instagram page, especially if you, I don't know if it's in the personal Instagram page, you have it, but if you are moving your Instagram to a professional page, you will unlock this Insights functionality. And there you can see, about impressions, the audience that we're reaching, the amount of followers that we're getting, the amount of followers you are losing, the engagement of your story. So it's nice for you to go and track your performance there. And especially the main KPI that I used in order to see if the content that I posted was nice or not, was basically the engagement KPI. So engagement KPI is basically the sum of your comments that you got, the likes, the shares, divided by the amount of total impressions. So basically, okay, understand if you had this impression, if these people interacted with me somehow. So basically it was the KPI that I used. And I believe that it's a good KPI because you're here, you are seeking the connection, the engagement, not just the reach and people seeing your stuff and that's it, right? One point is very important about social proof. So basically, if you don't have a lot of followers, you can ask your friend, your coworkers actually to like repost your content as well, comments on your content, like your content. So it's nice, and you can get some, like sometimes people, they don't comment on your content because they didn't see any comments and they don't want to be the first. Sometimes they are shy, like I don't even know this person very well, and here I'm commenting. People, they don't want to look weird, right? So basically, if you want to ask your friend, your coworker, oh, comment on this post first, so you can encourage people to comment more here as well. You can do it. I did a lot of times with my friends. They were also trying to improve their personal brand, so we had this kind of agreement. So I post some content, you can post, so you can comment here, you can share, I will share yours as well. So we had this agreement and it worked nice. About some mistakes that I made in this process. So it's about, about hiring people to help you in your social media. If you hire very junior social media marketers, sometimes you will have more work instead of less work. Especially if you are working in a very technical field like data analysis, technology. So they they will try to plan your content, but since they don't have any knowledge about it, sometimes they are going to plan some content that it doesn't make sense at all. So I had some, like bad situations with very junior social media marketers. So I decided, no, I would take care of my profile by myself, because another people, especially very junior ones, was kind of like I needed to give them a completely training about data analysis. So for me, it didn't make sense. Another stuff that you need to take into consideration is about sharing only tips and tricks about your subject of study. So I saw people, especially like programming, data analysis, you share tricks about these programming languages, tricks about this tool. People, they will get lazy. They will see you just as a trick and hacks poster. They will not see you as a professional, as an expert. So also take this into consideration, because there was a time I decided to post only like tricks, hacks, and so on. I saw a lot of impressions, I saw a lot of shares, but people, they were only considering me as this person who gives tips about growth, tips about data analysis, and I wanted to get clients, not just like curious people. So take this into consideration. Think about also like how to attract the right audience. Sometimes also you need to be careful about the type of content that we're posting is only attracting people similar to you. So basically, like about posting about data science, for example, I post a content about data science, but my content is so technical that only people of my level and above will understand this content. But my intention is about, teaching people. So I'm not attracting the right audience. I'm attracting, more advanced people in data analysis, but they are not my clients. They are my peers. So when you are creating content as well, it's about, you deliver value to your customers, not delivering values to your peers or people above you. So it's very important also, like, be careful about it. When like we're charging our prices, people say, oh, because at the beginning you need to charge very cheap prices. No, since day one, you need to know your value and charge a decent price for you, right? People, they need to have you this perception that you are a good professional. And about here is about your image as well. So when you're posting some videos on social media, when it appears your image, you need to be very mindful and intentional about your image as well. So if you wanted to appear as a very good professional as well, don't post a picture like using flip-flops all the time. You can post like one picture because like you were traveling and so on, but not use this as your official image, right? So be careful about it. And also your profile needs to be prepared. So before start posting with frequency on social media, prepare your profile, put like, use a good picture there, like put all the information that your future clients will need, where to contact you. If you have a landing page, put the landing page there. If you don't have a landing page, actually create one. It's important. So make your profile very prepared, because sometimes you post content there, your content is interesting, but when you go to your LinkedIn profile itself or your Instagram profile, this profile sometimes don't have like any information about you. So how people can connect and know more about you. So you need to give them all the information about how to contact you, maybe your prices as well, like a blog, if you have a blog, if you have other social media, like if you post anything on Twitter as well, it's nice also to put your Twitter there. So prepare your profile very well. And about final advices, if I can summarize, would be about this point. So basically, choose your channel wisely and choose one. So focus here is very important. Don't try to be, the savior of the world and try to, I will have 3 different social medias and take care of them all by myself. It doesn't work. Be patient. So the results take a little time to come. It's normal, right? I only had results after 2 months posting content 3 times a week. So it takes time. Also about selling, sell the transformation that your product, that your service gives to people, to companies, and not just sell the product itself. So it's very like people sometimes they sell the product because especially I will tell my example, like data analysis, for example. I can sell my content because my content is about data analysis. I give you quick tips weekly about data analysis. That's not the transformation. That's features of the product, right? The transformation is about become a more analytical person and be promoted faster. So that's the transformation. You're going to be promoted faster. So that's important. Show your personal side, and criticism is normal. So some people, they tend to post, bad stuff about you on social media, try to criticize you. Some people that you don't even know, they are going to comment, bad things about you, but that's normal, especially if you put your image out there. So don't care about it, just keep posting and we will succeed. Here it's about having consistency and frequency. So, and understand about your audience as well. So that's it. That's the key factors that can make you very successful. And that's it. And that's it.
I think we can use the rest of the session for Q&A. So anyone feel free to chip in like by just speaking, or you can post on the comments.
Cool. I can go maybe there. Very good presentation. Thanks a lot for making this 2-part call. A lot of content to be digested. I'm curious to hear, as a quick benchmark, since most of us aren't really in this field too often, what are some metrics that you use particularly to determine which posts were good or not, or what looks like a good benchmark specifically in this channel? What are those metrics, and what are some numbers that we could maybe use as a target or benchmark, just to figure out if our content is delivering value?
Yes. So basically, I saw on Instagram, LinkedIn, I didn't have a lot of numbers because LinkedIn was not my main channel. But on Instagram, you can find some benchmarks in terms of the numbers of followers that you have. So basically, that KPI of the engagement rate, they take into consideration the amount of comments, likes, savings that you have, and divide by the numbers of followers you have. And depending, like if your profile is a personal profile, if it's a professional profile, business profile, they have different benchmarks. I don't have the numbers here, but it's widely available on Google. You can find easily about Instagram, at least there. So, but basically I use this as overall, like engagement metric. And also, it was basically that I used this as a reference, and I decided to use this as a way, okay, let's scale this post. This post is not nice because it didn't have many, likes, many comments. So that's the way that I used to scale the right posts.
Amazing. Thank you. Any other questions?
I have a question. Thank Thank you so much, Fernanda, for 2 sessions. They were very insightful. I know Instagram is your weapon of choice, but I was wondering if you have any insights to share regarding LinkedIn specifically, things that you've learned, things that you've picked up along the way, that you read about, anything regarding LinkedIn.
Okay, about LinkedIn, what I saw that basically using the right tag is important. So LinkedIn, you have the tags there. So it's important. Tags matters there more than Instagram. So we can use the tags there. About the frequency of the content. Also, like frequency is important. Posting posts with images there like performs well as well. And the time that we're posting on LinkedIn is very important. So especially, you know, during the morning, so it's a good time to post like 9 to 10 a.m. Lunchtime as well. I saw some good results on LinkedIn. I didn't test LinkedIn a lot, but basically what my friends told me and what I saw testing some content there, these are the main tips that I can give you.
Thank you.
About LinkedIn as well, if you have more money, I recommend you to actually try and test some agencies specialized on LinkedIn. There are some agencies that especially, you know, like especially if you are like a founder of a business, for example, or like sometimes they take care of your LinkedIn profile and they post things for you. So you don't need to be concerned about posting content every day. Basically, they create some content, you approve this content, and they post for you. So depending on the money that you have, so can make sense.
But I have one, just to get an idea. So you said you were posting like 3 times a week, right? And actually your numbers look great in terms of revenue. Was there a tipping point, like after, I don't know, posting 3 months that it started converting? Or I don't know if you have any information there.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
when
yeah.
did it start ticking?
Yeah, so basically, so after 2 months, it started, you know, the leads to come and reaching out to me. So it was after, you know, 2 months posting 3 times a week, I saw some, you know, big impacts. Before that, sometimes I was receiving, some weeks I was not receiving anything. So yeah, I think that after 3 months was the peak. People started like every day, you know, Fernanda, please, I want to buy something from you. Was after 3 months.
Got it. Thank you, Ver.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fernanda, what is your opinion on giving away stuff like freebies through your social platform? Because I saw that you sold you had something that you were selling at the beginning, but what do you think about starting like giving away like free templates or anything?
It's nice, you can use it, you can test it. But for me, it didn't work because I was able to attract a lot of curious people, you know. So I was not maximizing like for reach, I was maximizing for revenue. So for me, the profile of the person matters. So basically, if I was giving things for free, I was able to attract a bigger number of people, but these people, they were not willing to pay afterwards for my product. So that's why I said, no, I will only like have paid products. Otherwise, I was just attracting, you know, the wrong audience. But you can test for, depending on your, you know, field, you can test this. Like, I'm not opposed to testing. Maybe in your case can work.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing. I got one more, Fer, if nobody has another question. Actually, two questions, I think. One is if you had any framework you found as a resource online that helped you, I guess, like plan your brand and content, because I know it has to be like very matched to the same persona that you're building, you know, and if there are any frameworks available that can help us, you know, when we're in this search of building our social profile. And the second one, which maybe you can share after, are any extensions or tools that you'd recommend that help you on a daily basis. That could be things you started with or things that you used towards the end. But maybe that you can maybe send after, and I'm curious to hear about the first one. If there's any frameworks or tools that help you plan your brand and your content.
Yes, I can share with you, you know, like a series of questions that I used to define, you know, my personal brand was basically, you know, asking people close to me about, you know, like if you can describe me in 3 words, what could be, you know, like what are the things that you see me as an expert? So you can, you know, I was asking my coworkers, you know, family members. I will share with you the other questions that I have, but basically it's about, you know, asking people about you. So people that make you unique, that make you an expert, and use this in your favor. So instead of, you know, pretending to be someone that you aren't. So basically that's